back.
And it looks like everybody's back and on time. We are now open to the new episode. What episode are we on, Kathy? Do you remember?
Like 38.
I don't remember.
John will double check my math.
John, double check.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, come on. Aren't you looking at the YouTubes?
On the tubes of the
What
U?
episode it is?
Why would I do that? Yeah, it's 38.
So, guys, we are live, and it's the first time we've had everybody back in quite a while because we've had everything going on, and we still got more stuff going on, and something we're going to talk about. But before we get started, we want to thank, of course, all of our sponsors that help us get everything done. Mechanica Studios for doing all of our graphic design work and sponsoring the pre-ramble. We're going to also thank, of course, Broken Egg Games, our main sponsor. It's going to be doing a bunch of stuff for us shortly, which we hope to show you pretty soon. And, of course, Tectonic Craft Studios, our buddy Dan, providing some really cool terrain and everything. So we want to thank them a lot for helping us stay open and working. Also, yes. Make sure we sound good and everything. Also, we want to make sure that we thank all of y'all. Our patrons, which we just got one more back because we found out that they did not know that they had stopped supporting us because of Patreon not sending out an email. So we want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers. We definitely are changing up everything. If you haven't seen anything on Facebook, please go check it out. Everything's changing. Everything's going to be awesome. A lot of people are going to like it. I've already heard some good things about it. Other than that, you can also check the link down at the bottom of the page for our Patreon area.
And we would also like to thank the people who just follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, following us on Twitch, liking us on Facebook.
Yes, that helps us out a lot. We just hit 600 likes on our Facebook page, but I think it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, because we haven't been doing this for all that long, have we?
No, we haven't. So I think this is really, really awesome. I think John has found his mini game of the day.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We've implemented some Nord chat commands. You can do !love, put a space in there and type in what you love, and it'll give you a percentage chance of how much you love it.
Just counter trolling.
So, some other commands we will not be doing. I agree with that one. We will not be doing streaming of music in this. There's no song request during the podcast. But we want to definitely think if you are not, make sure you hit the like and the follow. And if you want to do a subscription, we would even really appreciate that because that would help us stay open even longer.
And if you're on YouTube watching us, obviously give us a like, give us a follow, hit the notification bell so you know whenever we get videos uploaded there. So you're right there on the bleeding edge as Gonzo uploads them like 12 seconds after we're done with the podcast on Sunday nights.
The bleeding
He's amazing.
edge.
Damn right, bleeding edge.
I try to get everything out as quickly as possible for people. Before we get started and talking about some of the changes we're doing and some of the things going to be happening next week, we need to, one, discuss what we're drinking and why we're drinking today, because today is a very special day.
Or the day before a very special day.
Yes, I should say the day before is a very special day, because tomorrow is a very important day. Kathy, what you got?
So, my dad left this rum at my house last weekend when they visited. Myers rum, original dark, and you know what? I like getting Coke.
I can see that.
Who would have thought? It's Jamaican.
It's Jamaican, man.
You're making me thirsty.
Jamaican me thirsty?
Mm-hmm.
John, what's your drink of choice today?
I have got Red's Wicked Black Cherry Ale.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently I'm a cherry click. And then I'm also going to start off with a shot of Evan Williams Cherry Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey blended with cherry liqueur. It smells really good, and you know I like to try new things. And
Yep.
I haven't tried it yet. I know the Red's Apple Ale is solid, or the Red's Black Cherry Ale is solid. We'll have to see.
Maybe.
Gonzo, what do you got on tap today?
Actually, I did something. A friend of mine, Miss Erica's watching yet or not, I'm not sure. She bought me a decanter, and so I took my bourbon from Maker's Mark and put it in a decanter, and I'm drinking some Maker's Mark today.
Sweet.
That's so cool. Hi, Erica, if you're listening.
She probably isn't. She's probably busy watching nerd stuff, knowing her.
Congo is drinking straight vodka. Kador is proud of you.
Straight vodka.
Yes. So,
so guys, we are actually drinking to something specific this week because tomorrow is Memorial Day. If you don't know what Memorial Day is the day that we think about the people that lost their life defending our country. I've had
we also
brothers.
got the ones who are still alive, but this is the day for the ones who have fallen.
Correct. This is the day for the ones that have fallen. I've had friends that are fallen because I was Desert Shield and Desert Storm, so this day does mean a lot to me. So we will take a moment of silence as we have a sip to our fallen heroes. All right. What we need to talk about this week, guys, is I will be out of town this next weekend. And John, you are moving next weekend, aren't you?
Well, no, I'm helping my mom, actually. I'm getting ready to start moving. I will be moving coming up this next month, so.
Okay. So this next Sunday, there will not be a podcast, but we have something special planned for you.
Yeah. So since these guys are both busy, I wanted to keep the momentum going. So I'm just going to paint and stream on Twitch while I'm painting on Sunday night during our podcast hours. So if people want to join me and chat, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be painting. I can answer questions. I can ask questions.
So while we're gone, Kathy will be painting. She will also have the Twitch and everything set up, so she can stream whenever she wants.
Yep, I'm hoping to set up like one day a week at a certain time, and for a couple hours, and just like stream on Twitch like every week like that.
Yeah. And you're also trying to get an extra one for just patrons once a month, right, Kathy?
That will be a hangout.
Yes.
Oh, hangout. Cool.
So I'll send a link to the people who will be participating in that, and that's for patrons.
And it's going to be individual ones. Sweet. The $5 plus. Also, John has a new mini of movies, and since it's the end of the month, we have already charged everybody for the month our 4 type of streams. This one is a free one for you guys, so it will be free to listen to. It will be released Wednesday. See how I got all this stuff set up early and everything ready? All I got to do is click a button and say release it this day, and it's there for y'all.
Yeah, and even last week when we guys weren't there, we released a lot of stuff. So you guys should take a listen to that stuff. We had Adventures of Sewer Bear a little late, but better late than never. We did not play last week, so it kind of helped fill the void. Plus a one-off of the Adventures of Space Bear. So good stuff.
Yeah, I mean we got a lot of stuff planned. Like I said, just next week, I'll be out at NashCon. If anybody's in the Nashville area, I'll be there playing at War Machine Hordes. Come and see me. Come and find me. Come and play some games. Hang out with the Nashville crew. John's got something busy, so Kathy will be doing some painting.
Yep.
So let me go and switch over to the painting cam.
Painting cam!
And I actually talked with Kathy about what I was going to do with this, and I changed my mind.
Uh-oh.
I did a Gonzo, and I changed my mind.
Thought he was going to zag. He zigged.
So you're painting them black?
Actually, I wanted to... sort of. I saw something, and I saw this picture on the back of this, and I thought this was really, really cool looking style. If anybody knows, I picked up a bunch of Sylvaneth stuff. I put together a ton of crap yesterday. I put together almost 36 Dryads, Tree Lord.
So you were supposed to wait till the new rules came out.
I am. I'm not going to play until the new rules come out.
Yeah, but...
You were supposed to make sure the new rules were good.
New rules are actually pretty decent from what I've seen so far. But the new paint scheme I want to go with...
They said about Tomb Kings, and never mind.
Oh, I'm not dissing on any particular army's rules. I mean, the game in general is fine. It's just not deep.
So what is it that you're trying to do? The black one with the
black and blue one.
The black and bluish. I want to do the winter theme.
Wait, which one? Where's
this one right here?
Furs.
So black and blue.
Yeah, so what I'm going to think, I already got it prime black and I already got, an extra black layer of black paint on it, because primer's not an actual color, as I've been told. So what I'm
I
going
don't
to
know
do
who's
first...
been feeding you those lies.
People who try and paint shame people, and respectfully, fuck you guys. Don't paint shame.
Yeah, no paint shaming. We do not do the drama.
In fact, don't shame any of that stuff. Unless you're media shaming because someone liked Atlantic Rim, that's okay. That's okay.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm actually going to dry brush some white on this just to get it a highlighted color up.
Well, looking at the way the model ends up being, doesn't it end up being gray? Dry brushing or highlighting?
So
No.
are you gonna go like dry brush some white on and then do like a blue wash or something over it?
Yeah, exactly.
And
what
then
I'm
work up from that?
Yep.
That sounds legit.
Yeah, I'm going to use this crystal blue color as my blue color because I like the way it is.
No, is that an ink or a glaze, or I mean?
It's just the blue paint that I'm going to have to make into my own glaze.
So.
Oh, okay. So, I'm sorry, John. I keep interrupting you.
No, you're fine. I was going to save this for my own minis and movies, but it's a good time to talk about how you can get inspiration for painting stuff anywhere. The back of the box, alternate paint schemes, or even anything else. You don't have to paint it like it shows on the box, even.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's good inspiration, but like you don't have to paint. Since this thing came up, one of my buddies, Not Brushhead Dave, likes the Custodes models for 40K, but he's like, I wouldn't want to paint that much gold.
Then don't.
You know what? Do them purple. No,
Exactly.
do whatever color you want. I mean, you could do them like turquoise and brown, and that would be a very hipster kind of color scheme.
If you don't want your gray knights to be, metallic, do another color. Good lord, it's your models. As soon as you buy them, they're yours. Let your imagination go wild. Just
do what you want.
Yeah, look at other armies. I mean, look at like, let's say you're painting your gray knights, but you like the way the Stormcasts look for Age of Sigmar. Paint them like Stormcasts. That would look awesome.
Yep.
When Jim's painted like 4 Grey Knights armies over the course of years, for himself and for other people, because Grey Knights were one of his first loves for 40K. But he never ever painted them gray or silver, ever. So it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Nope.
His award-winning ones were red.
Paint what you want. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to talk about something quick about MomCon, because I went to that this weekend, and I wanted to say that Travis Marg runs a very awesome and clean and quick and easy tournament. That tournament was done really well, ran really quick. Very little rules questions, very little judge calls, so the players were
awesome.
really on it.
So how many people?
The first day, which was the Champions event, which isn't a very popular event, only had like 32.
That's pretty good.
But then the qualifier, which had like 42 or 48, something like that. I can't remember. It was in the 40s, which was really good. Yeah, which was a really good turnout. And then it got broke down into the top 8. And then the top 8 played, and then you got your champion, which yours truly got into the final table, but due to his strength of schedule, got 3rd place, which I'm not complaining whatsoever, because I played my ass off and was really proud of the way I did.
That's cool.
There was an interesting amount of other games. Guild Ball had a pretty good showing. I think they had about 20 or so people. So that was good. What else? X-Wing had a pretty decent showing, I guess. I think I heard like they had about 20.
Surprising, because I've heard a lot of piss moaning and whining because X-Wing second edition. Yeah, but I'm like excited because I like X-Wing, and anything that makes it both the better separation between casual and tournament is so good.
Yeah,
so good.
What else?
So
Guild Ball.
Is MomCon just like a tabletop wargaming convention?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And let's see. Then they had Infinity. I think there was only about 6 to 10 people for Infinity, and about 6 to 10 for Malifaux, and 6 to 10 for Batman.
Not terribly surprising. Those guys have always been a bigger War Machine meta, and honestly, War Machine to Guild Ball is not a big stretch. It's a very, very karmically aligned game, let's say.
Yes.
While really Malifaux and Infinity are like hell and gone.
Yeah.
They're really different.
There's a lot of people demoing games. Of course, our friend was doing Breachstorm. Then there was also quite a few.
Our friend, the great one.
The great
Our
one.
friend Trevi Atridge
Yeah.
doing Breachstorm.
Don't
I
ruin my
just-
joke. You're ruining my jokes. I was making a joke.
It's only because it's a bad joke, John. What can I say?
I don't have good jokes. I only use the jokes I have.
Yeah, but I laugh at the ones that are funny, and that's your clue.
Well, I can't control which ones are funny.
But we had it was a good time. Finally got to play that game against Tim. We were joking earlier in the day that what's going to happen when him and I get into the finals and we play each other, and then
You got in the finals and played.
we got in the finals when we played each
Wow.
other.
Cool.
So it was kind of interesting, kind of neat.
What was he playing?
He was playing Trollbloods. He had a really good Trollbloods list.
Trollbloods seem like the army that is the most interesting in Mark III to me.
Yeah.
I've always liked them since I had to paint some for some guy and he wanted them like the box art, and so I had to learn how to paint blue skin, like
Mine are orange.
blue skin, and it was so much fun. I love those models.
Still have a couple. They're orange. I wouldn't actually buy them again, but
Let's see. I hung out with Lauren
Ooh,
from Griffin Roost Studios. She was doing the judgy painting. She's a good friend of mine.
I actually really like how that's turning out, Gonzo. It's just so different on a Dryad. It actually looks pretty cool.
Well, they have such cool detail on
They
those
got a
models,
lot of texture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty much. I don't want to go too overboard with the white, but I just want it to so it'll pop whenever it gets.
I
on
think
there.
you need to definitely get a smaller. I don't know if you have a smaller dry brush. A smaller dry brush and get some of those hard to reach places that
Yeah,
the big
when
one can't get.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you go in with your regular brush and just use the edge of it to go in and pick out some of those finer details.
Yeah.
But I have a small dry brush for such situations.
Then you can use that.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Oh.
Overall, it was a really good time. Met some new friends. I will. I'm actually going to be getting a T-shirt made, by the way.
Yeah.
Because, as you know, I play Grimkin, and I play Heretic. And one of my things is somebody will tie up some of my models, and I'll have a model walk away and get a free strike from it. And I'll go, want to take a free strike? Or take a free strike. And they'll take a free strike and kill a model, which then lets me pop my Arcana on my turn. And then I pursued to beat the crap out of their army. And it was so funny. Because the first guy I played, he had played very little against Grimkin, didn't know about it. So I says, take a free strike? And he goes, yeah, take a free strike. Kills it. I go, okay, lay down this Trump Arcana and start bouncing around and start destroying his army. Well, him and his friends all came together. It was like, we've never seen that before. And that was really interesting. And so that night, they went back to their hotel room and discussed about my tactics I was using for Grimkin against them. Like a lot of the night, because they were saying, how it was done and it was really good and a good player. And then the next day during the qualifying tournament, I got the guy in round 3 that was in that room, and I got him with the same trick. And as soon as he did it and killed the model, he was like, well, shit. We just talked about you doing that to us, and we said we'd never fall for it again.
I used to do a
It's
similar
too
thing
tempting.
And so they fell for it.
With Mad Hammer and Primed. If you only had a half-inch melee range, it'd be like, free strike, yeah, boom. Like, oh, that was not right.
So it was interesting. I met I met some of our streamers, or some of our listeners.
Awesome.
A lot of people, says they really like and they listen to us, which I thought was really good. I mean, because we don't always hear from everybody. We just kind of assume.
It's the hardest thing, not necessarily hearing from everyone. I do appreciate everyone who listens.
Yes.
Even if we don't hear from you guys, we still appreciate you.
Yeah. So it was nice to, go, hey, I listened to you. I'm like, oh, really? Cool. Thanks. So I appreciate it. And then met Vengeance, him and his wife. Made a bunch more friends. But I'm going to get a T-shirt. And the guy suggested it. He says, why don't you put it like free strike question mark on the front, on the back, have the heretic go, it's a trap. And they were like, I need to have that made.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So, but I mean, it was good. It was a good time. A lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. But it was still good. Gotta thank Travis Mark again because he ran a really smooth and clean.
It's always great when someone runs a good, smooth and clean tournament.
Yeah.
Take that little bit away, like just free to enjoy everything.
Yeah. Other than that, I was really happy with the way I did it.
Should we talk about a tournament that wasn't smooth and clean as part of our topic?
Why, whatever tournament could you possibly be talking about?
I believe it was the LondonGT.
What?
For 40K?
There's no such thing as a GT.
The 40K GT in London?
Yeah, you'd think they'd have their shit together. I mean,
what? It is London.
You would think an actual GT would have their shit together.
Now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure this is not one run by Games Workshop like they used to back in the day.
No.
I mean, I went to an actual Games Workshop run GT, and it was a great experience. Great people. Like, even the assholes were actually great people with this. It brought out the best in everyone. It was a good experience. This is a independent grand tournament. And, God, where to start? Start with the terrain?
Sure. Start with the terrain.
Okay. Let's start with the terrain, and I have something to say on top of the terrain while we're discussing this.
Let's also fair warning. We're not trying to just bash on these guys, but it's something that everyone who thinks about making a tournament or all needs to hear this.
Yes.
We're really, really not trying to just bash on these guys, but they just didn't do it right.
No.
Because if you see pictures of terrain, you can search it. It was not good.
I'm guessing they put a lot of time into this tournament. I mean, I'm hoping they did, but it really
rumors
doesn't
have it
look
that they
like
didn't start terrain till like a week or two beforehand. So it seems like they did not. Maybe it just snuck up on them. Maybe someone pulled out of giving them terrain and they had to, back up and punt. In which case, guys, get that information out to us. We don't want to just, rip you to shreds.
I've got stories on that terrain.
But it happened last year too. So yeah,
Jesus Christ.
This is the second year that's happened. So now where's the excuse? You want to think well of people.
I do. Yeah, and Crimson 1919, he says he saw it on the internet. It was so awful. It looked like they were playing War Machine. That is shots fired. I'd actually say that. So, good note: 40K cannot use flat terrain for most things because most things you actually have true line of sight. Yeah. So, like a crater or something, you can do flat, a river, some water feature, something like that. But they have so few terrains that actually do anything. The craters are really the only ones that can actually be flat terrain. Everything else, you actually have to have terrains what actually blocks line of sight. Because that is a big deal, because 40K is currently... I mean, it's a flawed game, because it is super mega alpha strike heavy, if you're playing it on a competitive level. So, their hearts were in the right place. I got to give them that. They were trying to get some terrain pieces out that were, would do something for the game.
It seemed to me like it's just... We need to block line of sight, so we're just going to throw this piece of foam, this random piece of foam here that's this high, so that it can block the line of sight from things that are this big and not bother to even paint it or make it look like anything.
Well, here's the thing.
Why do you use the phrase block line of sight? Because using a block is what they did.
Yeah.
It was just a block of foam, and it looked terrible. Hi, Erica.
And when I'm paying that much at a GT, I need more than just a block of foam that is supposed to be representing a building or some rubble.
Yeah, if you're a local store and you're trying to run a bigger event than normal, and some of your terrain isn't up to par, people are going to give you a pass.
Sure.
If you're a premier event, you're charging people good money for it. They're going to want a quality terrain.
Well,
and that's where you got to get your local clubs. I mean, UK is full of gaming clubs. Get a gaming club or two to sponsor you. Give those guys a shout out. Get people in there.
And there
get them
were
to help
clubs
that
wanted to donate terrain to the cause, to lend them terrain, and they refused.
That's the thing. The terrain wasn't an issue. They had good line of sight blocking terrain, which was good for 40K. You need that stuff. Functionally, it was good terrain. The biggest problem is everybody offered to give them terrain, everybody offered to donate terrain, help with terrain, and they refused. And what made it even worse is they had very, very, very strict painting requirements to
You
even
can't
play
do
your
that.
army.
Can't do
And then
that.
you can't do that with the terrain.
If you're going to require fully painted armies and have the strict requirements, you got to take yourself to that next level terrain wise, because you want an event. You're going to be. I recall correctly, based on what I've heard, they actually streamed or videoed some of these games.
Yes.
More on that later.
Yes.
So if you're going to do that, you actually have to do the same thing. Like if you're not going to videotape games, you're like, we'd like you guys to be painted, 3 colors, bare minimum, cool. Even then, you have to take terrains and do a little something. But you can't just put the crap on the table. But
No.
we have 3. Adepticon. Adepticon is the fucking gold standard of how to do it.
And people are working year round. They've already started working on terrain for 2019.
Absolutely.
Already.
They
and
run a great show.
They have giant Rubbermaids, stacks and stacks of 50-gallon Rubbermaids full of terrain already. And they're already starting on more terrain for
That's
next
great,
year.
because it means they go like, this piece is a little damaged. We do whatever we do with damaged terrain, donate to a store, donate to people, whatever.
Yep.
And now we just bring in the new stuff. You can make it a table at a time. This is enough terrain for a table. It's a cool thing. Boom. Table 1 done. Table 2 done. So however you guys want to split it up, it's great. And doesn't I give them fair props for trying to make fair tables, because they tried to make the same basic terrain on every table. But if you make the same terrain, arrange it the same way on every table, you don't get fair. You get stale.
Well, even with at Adepticon, for instance, with the Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar now, every table was different. They would have a woods table, a woodland table. They would have a desert table. They would have a snow table. They would have, an urban table. But every table would have, 1 or 2 woods, trees, 1 or 2. They would have like a hill on each side. There would be like so many buildings. For each table, they would have the same number of the terrain features, and set them up the same way, but they looked different.
Mm-hmm.
They were aesthetically, appealing. Well, more appealing than just a block of foam, anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's tough. I mean, you're trying to be, a premier event. You gotta put forward the effort too. You can't just half-ass that shit.
No, you can't. Especially when people offered to give you terrain, you need to take people up on that, because the thing is a lot of that terrain was very similar amongst all the tables.
Mm-hmm.
I heard, and this could be just hearsay, but I heard that there was a European company that donated terrain that was a sponsor for them, and the only tables that saw the quote-unquote fancier terrain were the tables that were going to be featured in social media.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, people took videos of pictures of the other tables, so
they made it to
who
social
knew?
media.
Social media was everywhere.
and let's be honest, we understand if the tables you're going to videotape and showcase, they're going to look better. Understandable. You put your best foot forward. That's what you do.
Yeah.
But there cannot be such a disparity between the two that you're like, holy shit, this is like me and my buddy, at our kitchen table with some foam blocks and all, playing 40K back in high school.
Yeah.
Back when we first started.
Yes, exactly.
Not a GT. Come on. Bless you.
Thank you.
Or whatever. So yeah, that was pretty rough. The second part of this is not really their fault.
Wait. There is
It is
something
a
else.
little-
Something else
Oh,
we need
hit
to talk about. The setup. If you saw the pictures of the tables, of the way they were set up, there was no room to walk. That there was actually considered fire hazards and stuff of where they were.
Yeah,
It was so blocked that people couldn't move. People couldn't get where they needed to go. It was really, really like a fire hazard. People were worried that if something were to happen there, that it would have been dangerous for the people playing. So that became a really big issue. Which, oops, that's a little too much. Is something you have to think about, because if you look at the tables, there was not much space for people to walk or put their armies.
Yeah, it's kind of. I understand not necessarily. It's hard to have enough space to put your
Do
armies
what you
on the
want, because
table.
a pirate is free. You
You
are
are
a
a
pirate.
Standard.
You're a pirate indeed. Being a pirate is a right to be. Do what you want, because a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Holy
is
crap,
raiding.
Rainer. Thank you for the raid, man. 58 people in this party.
Holy crap!
Damn! Rainer,
Hi,
you are
everyone.
awesome. Thanks, guys, for joining. We are now talking about the London GT. We're discussing the tables and the terrain. Well, I paint. So you are more than welcome to weigh in on it. Some of our viewers are looking for some photos of this stuff.
Yeah,
But-
I'm looking right now. You can probably just go on Google and just put London GT 40K terrain. You'll get some pictures of it. It's all over the place. There's just not. Oh my God, it's just as bad as I remember. It's just unpainted foam. They were trying, but it just did not come out well, and it's hard to be considered taken seriously. That's the hardest part. Again, the thing, if you're having some little tournament, like if I run a GT and format it all myself, and no one's gonna be like, oh, look, John had shit terrain. No, it's gonna be like, oh, hey, it's more, they didn't get good terrain, because there's one guy doing it. This is a whole team. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, this was a really, really bad thing for them to do. And the thing is they had help and they refused to take it. That's what really people should be more worried about.
Mm-hmm. And don't be afraid to hesitant to ask for help. I mean, for some reason, people take some shame and ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Ask for help.
Yeah,
If things get away from you, going like, look, I'm running this big event. I need some help. Company, people. Like I said, there's tons of gaming clubs in the UK. Get some of those guys to help you out. Give them a shout out. Those guys love that because it'll help them people coming in there. It'll get them people to play it. We're all in this together as a community, and helping each other keeps us all together and all doing well.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've gone somewhere. I'm getting a lot of follows. Thanks, guys. We appreciate everybody.
Thanks.
That are just
like all the fun little pictures and everybody's
all the emits.
Yeah.
Gonzo is painting a Dryad for Age of Sigmar.
He's going for a winter theme with some bluish colors, which
black and
that's
blue.
gonna end up looking really cool.
Yeah, that's looking interesting.
But I mean, that was one of the big problems is they got help, they just refused to take it.
Yeah, that's tough. It's I say probably go before the fall.
So,
but the second part is not entirely their fault.
No.
This is more of calling out the community and a little self-policing. Is apparently their overall victor was cheating his butt off.
There was rampant cheating in this game, in the final game.
And honestly, the final game should probably have a judge. If he's not dedicated to that table, he should be dedicated to that table and one or two more.
Correct.
So he can take a look once in a while. And he's got to step up and step in. I don't know. I'm not going to call him out. Maybe he's just distracted. Maybe he had more tables. I don't know what their judging situation was like. But even the opponent, I mean, whoever this guy was, maybe he didn't realize he was being videoed, because on the video, it's pretty darn apparent he is. I mean, we've seen some blatant cheating in the War Machine Hordes community, and this is next level. Like, holy moly.
Yeah, this was really, really, really bad cheating. There was something that Wolf Shark on here was talking about the fire hazard. There was also no food. There was a lot of issues.
They said they had one person as a caterer for this entire event.
It was just done bad.
Yeah, it's so. If you want to take something back from this, that this is an event that was done incorrectly. Everyone look at it, learn from it. Don't keep beating them up. I mean, they know now.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet is beating them up. We're just trying to bring this out to everyone so they know, so we can learn from it and know what not to do. If you're going to an event and you get even the slightest hint that you're having problems, see if you can help out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I volunteer at Adepticon every single year, because I saw an event that I really liked. The people who were running it were, really enthusiastic about it, and I was like, what can I do to help?
Absolutely. We used to get that even for the local events back when Drop Zone Games was there. And in fact, at our current local game store, Games and Stuff, we pretty much have to, it all is volunteers and all. People come in like, oh, hey, John, do you need help setting up? Can I get here a little early, help you set up? Stuff like that. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
Little stuff like that helps.
Even I still do that now. I mean, AKA PGs are gone, but every time I go to a tournament and I'm usually there a little early, I'm like, hey, you need help bringing something in, doing something, whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
just it's what we do as a community.
The last tournament Jim played in, I was helping the TO take down the tables after it was over.
Yeah.
Just, I knew they had to drive back to Oklahoma, and so I just helped him put the stuff away because that's what you do.
Yeah. You help out each other. I'm also, so right now we're going to, I've done a quick ink wash or a quick dry brush on the white with the blue, and now I'm taking some no oil and separating those out just a bit and getting this going.
You might hit the blue again afterwards, but
I might
I
actually
was
get.
just gonna say that, John.
Yeah.
Let it dry and then hit some of the blue again, maybe with a little white mixed in it or with
Yeah.
a little lighter blue color.
remember, Kathy, just because I don't paint too often doesn't mean I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
I
don't
would-
practice.
I would never say I'm looking forward to when you finally get your paint area
When I
set
move and
up
get my new
and
paint area, yeah, good lord, it'd be
and
great.
we can paint together.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. This is the stupidest statement I've ever made in my life, potentially, is I'm running out of things to put together.
Well, now it's about
174 days of hobby streak in a row, and you start running out of shit to put together. It's crazy.
Let's
So,
go
we're
back to
talking
this
about-
GT.
I was just gonna say we're talking about an example of a really bad tournament, but what are the things that we like to see or the things that we hate to see at the tournaments that we go to? And people in the chat, if you want to comment about stuff you love or stuff you hate about tournaments, feel free to chime in.
Here's the most important thing from running tournaments that I've thought about. Keep meals in mind. People are going to eat before they come to the tournament, or they should. If you're going to be an all-day tournament, you have to either A, give them a sizable enough lunch break to go get lunch at whatever options are nearby, or provide an option. Sometimes you'd be like, we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to have pizza. You guys are going to have a short lunch break, but we'll provide the pizza. It's part of your entry fee.
Well, our local
Other
guy.
times will be like, here's an hour for lunch. Go wherever you like within the area, because you can get anywhere near Glen Burnie in an hour.
Yeah.
Just be back at X time. You guys get done early. I'm like, next round starts here. Starts here. Be back here.
That's what we do at our local guy. He's like, all right, here you go. Entry fee's $5. If you want pizza, you can ditch in another $5, and you can eat the pizza that I have coming in.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's perfect in my opinion, because
I've actually gone into tournaments where they're like, oh, hey John, we need a ringer, and I'm doing really well. Like, well, you could pay the full entry fee. I'm like, no, you give me free pizza. I'm just a ringer. Let someone else win. I don't care.
Right on.
Free pizza. It's all good.
yeah, free pizza. So I mean, they should have had that figured out. That's something that should have been figured out and done, no problem. Definitely was an issue that they had a problem with. Was it that
Crimson
good?
1919 says, I think tournaments should have some recognition for painting, a best painted award or a raffle prize that only people who play it painted can enter.
I agree.
That was my favorite. The raffle for every round you played a fully painted army, you got a raffle ticket, and at the end we'd draw and someone would get a prize. I've done best painted awards even in not painted things. I'd have some secret judges come by. When you're at a game store, it's easy to find some of your locals who are knowledgeable painters and have them come by, peruse stuff, and be like, okay, cool, this guy's got the best army, he gets the award. Cool.
Yeah, I've been a not so secret judge at tournaments before. People have asked me to paint judge, and at Adepticon it was there were 3 of us who would go around, and so one would be the tiebreaker, but we had a rubric. I mean, we had a checklist of all of the different things, and you would get so many points for this. At a certain point, then you get into the more subjective stuff. Like if you had the maximum points, then you go on to the next level of judging.
Oh, cool.
Which is a little more subjective. It's a little more of the artsy stuff, and that's the stuff that will send you into best painted category. But the rest of it is just for soft scores for the tournament itself, for tie breaking.
I love soft scores as tiebreakers. Soft scores as tiebreakers are thumbs up. We actually have a thing in Malifaux right now where people were talking about, they used a dirty word, it's called comp. That's in composition. And I was around in the 40K comp days, and that
Sure.
That stuff can't be allowed to happen because it's not. We can make a whole topic about this. But the short of it is, as soon as you get pushback from the community, it means the community as a whole does not want it. Put it out of your mind.
Yeah.
That's good to note. If you have a tournament and people are giving you pushback about something, it means everyone does not want it. So try not to push it on them.
Yeah, you need to rethink things. Like, yeah. Jim
Now-
was at a bolt action tournament a couple of weeks ago, and their tournament was not that well organized, and
Camera's messed up.
every single game was a kill 'em all objective.
Yeah, that's
And
unfortunate.
so you win, you lose. There's no points or anything. So there was no tiebreakers. There weren't any soft scores. There weren't any, you capture this objective, you get this many points. You capture this many objectives, you get this many points. If you have this many of this type of unit, you get this many points. There was nothing that made it more interesting than, I'm going to take my guys and charge forward and try and kill all your guys, and you're going to do the same thing. Which is the most boring game I can think of.
Well,
You might as well just roll some dice at the beginning and say,
Yep.
oh, I rolled high, I win.
Oh, I got first turn? Dang. That means I win on a 3+. That's 40K sometimes, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
let's put out there, Deadloader noted that I personally don't think it matters much. Terrain blocks on his site doesn't have to be fancy and painted up and look nice. Seems like nitpicking. Yes, it looked awful, doesn't have to be fancy. Which is fair. It's put in an event of that magnitude and when you require them to be painted. I know you guys came in a little later from the raid. They required fully painted armies and all. If you're going to foist it upon people, you actually have to up your game too.
Well, the thing is not only did they require fully painted armies, they required at a certain higher degree level than what people are used to.
It wasn't just 3-color
No.
minimum.
No.
Yeah, to have that and to go and to try and say that you're looking for an aesthetic for a GT where you're charging a bunch of money for somebody to play in this tournament and then have basically a crumpled up piece of paper as a bush. No.
Yeah, you gotta take it up. I mean, I understand some people it doesn't matter to, and that's fine. And honestly, there's a lot of tournaments people are like, we're not gonna have any painting required or anything. I would not complain about it in that tournament. I'm like, you've stated by not requiring any painting that this tournament is entirely about the playing of the game, which is fine. It is still a game. But if you're going to require the hobby aspect of the game, you have to maintain that standard yourself. It's kind of hypocritical not to. It just looks it reflects very poorly upon you. And like I said, we don't want to beat these guys up. It's more of we want to use this example of how we can all learn from it and do better.
Yeah. What was it? Wolf Shark said doesn't know much about War Machine, and there isn't a painting required for War Machine, but the tournament package highly suggests that you do, which is why you don't see a lot of War Machine armies painted. I personally, if I run a War Machine tournament, I look for not only overall first, second, and third place, but I look for a best painted and a best sportsmanship award, because I think all of that is still, painting and sportsmanship is still very, very important to a tournament scene. So that's to go in with that. But let's talk about this guy and what he did really, really wrong from a lot of people's standards. This guy,
and
the thing is, he didn't just cheat; he blatantly cheated. I'm going to do before we get started. I'm going to be painting the base an ash gray because I'm going to actually have this ground like ashen, crappy looking, dirty ground. So when people sit there and I'm painting the ground ashy gray. And the thing is he blatantly cheated with like obvious tactics that nobody caught until after they watched the video, which was really bad.
And it's tough. And like I said, I'm not calling out the judge. He might have more to look at that, but it's something as a tournament organizer you need to be aware that this is a possibility. And more for the final couple tables than anything, you need to have judges paying a little more attention just in case. I mean, I hate that the win at all cost players still exist and still thinks that, the ends justify the means, cheating to win, but doubly so because you're being recorded, man.
Yes.
How idiotic are you?
Well, the thing is he did some stuff. He was like, and he moved some models with his glass of water or whatever he was drinking.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. That was fucking like
mismeasuring on purpose. I'm like, really? You're on video.
yes on
People are
video.
watching you. There was one time I went to a tournament, and it was a War Machine and Hordes tournament, and I wasn't there to watch the game, but I watched the stream afterwards because they streamed it live on Twitch.
Hmm.
And people are like going, "This guy's cheating." I mean, they're like, "This guy's cheating worse than anything else." I mean,
Yeah.
just going off. And like the guy that was running the tournament wasn't watching the stream and couldn't watch the game because he was running around doing everything else. And everybody's like, eventually he got onto it, and it came down that he was caught and blah blah blah. But still, this is way beyond. Oh, I forgot an ability, or I
Or oh,
mismeasured something.
I quickly misread my dice. There was a 2 that I thought was a 3 or some such shit
Correct.
like that. That happens all the time. I mean,
Yeah, this isn't common mistakes. And reading back and reading all the rules, the Tau player, he'd been banned from many tournaments though for cheating, which was kind of flabbergasted by me that they would even let him play in it.
we need Tinder for tournament players now. Come on. Sorry.
Now, here's the thing. War Machine and Horde tournaments, you get to find out who the cheaters are really quickly because word gets around.
Yes.
GTs, I understand that, it's a
Yeah,
lot more people, 40K,
You can't
etc.
expect it. You can't expect a staff to figure that out. I mean,
Correct.
maybe they've heard of him, and honestly, sometimes it's like, is this just someone being negative? You want to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but by the same thing, it's trust but verify. Okay, I'm going to trust that you're going to do this right, and people are just sour grapes because you're a good player. But I'm going to tell the judge when you're on a table, watch that shit a little more carefully.
Correct.
Just because.
Yeah.
And yes, JMO 500. I hope he does get banned, get shunned forever in the future. And that's much as I hate excluding people. It's people like that we don't want in there.
No.
We have talks all the time, like oh, the win at all cost players. Like those guys are mostly gone, to be honest. They keep getting shunned. They do something stupid. They become unfun to play. They straight up cheat, and we just sort of push them away. Like, get out of here. We don't want you anymore.
Yeah.
You're not welcome in this hobby.
And
not welcome
word
in any
does
hobby.
eventually get around, but when you're at something that's international,
Oh yeah.
not everybody's gonna know.
Yeah. And those guys especially, they're theoretically a guy running an event like that, or the guys are spending so much time looking at the event, they're not necessarily thinking about checking to see if the players are good or not. I mean, that's tough to do. I mean,
yeah, especially when you have that many people.
Correct. But I mean, this was, and I hate to say this because there are quite a damn good amount of 40K players that are great to play, fun to play, etc., etc. But it seems like recently the last few large, 40K type bouts have been wrought with some type of cheat or problem. Was it Adepticon had
and you
the
know
slow
why
play?
why they've
Oh,
discovered
yeah.
all of that is because people are recording these things
Yeah.
and looking at them later.
Yeah. I mean, it's just becoming, and it's sad because, all right, guys, we're men and women playing with little plastic figures. This is getting ridiculous. The slow play, everything to win, like John says, everything to win. There doesn't need to be that. That's not. If you lose, you lose. You pick it up, you move on, you go to your next game, try better next time. As a tournament player myself, playing this last one, I was sweating a couple of games, especially my first one. I almost lost it by 1 point, and I was like, shit.
But
And
those are the
then-
games you love the most, like the
Yeah.
close ones. You're like, oh, I got that, pulled that out. That was awesome.
Yeah, but I mean, like I was playing against Jeremy Lee, my first game of the top 8, and I lost to him a couple of months ago because he's a really good player, and we had a slug out, just beat the crap out of each other fight, and I won on control points. Can you believe this? 14-9.
Wow.
I mean, we were just beating the crap out of each other, just going back and forth, and I pulled it out, and I was like, well, shit, I beat him. Fucking A, I beat Jeremy Lee, and it was like, achievement for me because
Yeah, the
he's such a
first
good
time
player.
you beat one of your nemesis, somebody that continues to beat you because they're a good player, it feels great.
Well, it's like I beat Brett Fogel this last week, and I'd never played him, and Brett Fogel's a really good player,
Yeah,
and he just made a mistake, and I was like, I'm going to capitalize on it.
I know the feeling. I went to a Mid-Atlantic team tournament, and the first guy I played with, they didn't tell me. He was like, oh, he's really good. This team totally beat the whole thing. And I'm like, Oh, I won. Well, fucking yay. You know, to me it was just another guy, but
Yeah.
you know, they didn't tell me he's a good player. You're like, that's extra awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, is it really worth getting that bad name and being banned from playing ever again? You just suck it up and take it.
Yeah, take it. I mean, we've had games where someone like walked off and gets distracted in the game store. He's like, "Oh, how many wounds do I have?" I'm like, 0. He's like, "You just hit me with 4 las cannons." I'm like, "Yeah, I rolled really shit. Then I'm wounded." I mean, I could easily said, "Oh yeah, 3 of them wounded. That was odds. You'd believe me." But nah, it's. I mean, my dice were like, "No, fuck you, done for you." It happens. I mean, shit.
Yeah. I mean, and like I says, 40K is a much popular game, much bigger, has a lot more players, and so we're seeing a lot more. But the thing is it's not stopping. It's not changing.
But to be honest, let's not, you know, overblow it. This is because of the tools we have available to analyze after the fact. There's always been rumors of people cheating and all that, and then to my memory, they were more prevalent. But now so many games get recorded. There's so much social media. People are watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually going down. We're just becoming more aware of it, which is good. So we can be aware of it, but we don't want to like make it seem like it's an epidemic when it is quite probably going down. I mean, honestly, I've noticed at least locally, the Win It All Costs players have scaled back quite a bit. There are more guys having fun. Yeah, they want to win a game, but they're like, oh, you know, I got these cool fluffy things because I like them. People are getting they're finding the balance.
Yeah.
And honestly, in a tournament, we don't care about Win It All Costs as long as it's when you make your list.
Yeah.
When you're playing, you play like a gentleman, you play like a sportsman, you know, you play, you know, as they intend.
Yeah.
And then, you know, let your play win. Don't win because you're cheating, because you got someone with some rule you knew there was no way they knew about.
Yeah.
Win because you're better.
Yeah.
Any other win is not worth it.
Hey Vision, how's it going, buddy? I agree. Like I says, it's just I think people just now are kind of going. It's really coming to the limelight a lot more.
Yeah.
Which is okay, because we need to get those people. I don't want to say out of the game, but we need people to understand that that's not what we want in a game.
And it's not just get them out of the game. That's not it.
No.
So I'll tell a little story. There was a guy at a local store who we all knew cheated. He was cheated. He was unfun to play. So I'm standing around talking to the store staff at a Games Workshop store at the old Glenburnie Battle Bunker. And he goes, hey, do you want to play a game? And I said, no. He's like, well, why not? You're not playing anything. So I'm like, do you really want to know? He's like, yes. So I just gave him both barrels. And the store staff, you know, praised me for putting out the most impressive no profanity rant they've ever heard. Where basically told him, like, look, we know you cheat. You're not fun to play against. We know all this shit you do. No one wants to play you. And he took it. And he looked a little shaken. He walked away. And, you know, a year later, he is the most accurate measurer, the most accurate dice roller. He absolutely is doing everything all the right way.
That's good.
Because he realized, like, hey, people don't want this, you know. They realize this is, I want to play more than I want to win. And he took it to heart. And I still feel good about that. That guy became a great player. He was a great hobbyist. He became a great player, too. Everyone wanted to play him because he had a cool-looking army, and he played his game right. And there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
I don't care if I lose to a guy who has a cool-looking army and plays his game right. It is an honor to play someone like that.
Yeah. It's better to lose correctly than win incorrectly.
Yeah, I mean, and then just hit up like the one, like I said, the best thing to come out of the War Machine of Hordes community ever is the post game, you know, breakdown. Other games didn't do that. Now it's like common practice. It's great. I love to lose a game like, oh, when you did this, I was scared. This and that is great. We need to bring everyone. We need to lead by example. Show them this is how we want the game to be played. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
This is how you have the most fun. This is the right way to do it.
But I mean, it was. I feel bad for the LondonGT because they knew they wanted to have a good game. They wanted to have a good thing. It's not like they went out and let's get controversy at our thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no one makes an event going, let's make a shit event. No one does that.
No.
Well, we hope not.
I mean, they had complaints about their terrain and stuff from last year, so it's not like it was a first-time thing. So hopefully, and I know that they're already seeking out help from other people for getting some good terrain and everything. They're already taking action to make it better for next year.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So they are listening to feedback.
which is good because that's the thing is they knew they messed up. They're trying to fix it, which is the best part of it. There's a difference between if they would have said, well, fuck it, we're just not going to do it ever again because y'all are jerks. But
Yes.
they're taking an active step to do something about it, which is good.
Absolutely. And hopefully all the best for them next time they run it. I hope people give them a chance and let it and come back next year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%. What time is it, by the way?
Well, Gonzo, we were going to have an extended movie section, but if we do that, we're going to have to run a little long because it is almost 9 o'clock.
What? It's not almost 9 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock. What the hell's wrong with you? Don't you do American time?
I'm on the East Coast. Since the capital's here, it is the most American time.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and start. So guys that are new, we do a media section the last 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get that. We talk about movies, games, and whatever.
Movies, books, music, games, whatever.
Whatever
Kathy,
suits
do you
us.
want to be in the middle, or do you want to get it out of the way so you can just enjoy
us ranting?
I will start out because over the last few weeks I have been too busy to watch anything except for when my mom and dad came to visit, and we just watched some old BBC murder mysteries, which no one really wants to hear about. I love them. I'm okay with watching them with my mom and dad, but I've seen them like a million times, so nobody else wants to hear about that. I'm done.
Before we get started, would anybody please mind giving Gamer Dad, Vision, and everybody else some good shout outs? These guys are really awesome, and of course they paint way better than I do. Give a shout out on there to see them, because if you don't know them, you need to start following them. They're really, really awesome people.
Absolutely.
Other than that, anybody can do a shout out. I don't have a problem with that. John, what is your first?
My first one. I'm going to talk about them and how good they are. Worst first, so it just gets better and better.
Okay, so you want to go worst to better?
Worst to better. So first off is last night after everything. It was funny because this is the most recent movie I watched. I was at my buddy Noran's house. He's part of the Sewer Bear crew. His niece said, "Oh, I watched that movie. It's pretty good." So we watched Gantz Zero, which is an anime. It was fuck awful.
So does this?
It has a great premise. The premise is sort of like Universal Soldier versus monsters, but they don't explain anything in this movie. I'm pretty sure there's an anime that goes with it called Gantz.
Yes.
And this is related, but you need to make your standalone movie make sense. So the idea is someone get killed, they get teleported to a room with the Gantz thing, and they have to go fight monsters that come into various parts of Japan. Yep. They get cool weapons to do it, and then you get points like it's a game, and if you get 100 points, you get to either get better weapons, resurrect a teammate, or go home with no memory of what's happening. And the problem is they jump you right into like a really mega battle where they have to go to a different city and team up with other people, and it just is done fucking poorly. Like, maybe if you had an idea everything was going on, like if you came in and you were steeped in the Gantz mythology, it'd be fine, but you don't. So we're like, what the fuck is going on here? Who's this whiny fucker that's supposed to be, the main character? Who these other whiny fuckers are supposed to be his friends? And who's this way too cheerful girl on the Osaka team that just does not make any sense to me at all? And it just continues to go downhill. Like, I feel like you could totally make this a really amazing movie. Live action, animated, whatever. There's a lot of potential here.
Yes.
Plus, they did that sort of. So first off, it was obviously done in Japanese and then subtitled, or dubbed, and they watched the dubbed version, which is a mistake. But Noran made it, not me. With the exception of Cowboy Bebop, if you're watching a Japanese animated, watch the subtitled version. The dubbed version is always shit. Yep. Some things just don't translate over well vocally, and it really hurt. And also, they tried this sort of semi-real, anime style, and they do way too much fan service boob jiggle, and I fucking couldn't unsee it, and it was unwatchable. I'm just like, I fucking can't unsee that. I cannot watch this shit.
So how many space herpes do you give it?
4 space herpes. Fuck this movie. Do not watch it unless you're really fucking drunk and you need to watch something. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe this anime is good. I won't try it based off the strength of this fucking thing. Gantz Zero. It's on Netflix for free. That's too much money. Gonzo, what was the worst one you saw this past week or so?
Oh crap. Hold on, I gotta pull up my thing because I'm just like totally not even. I'm totally off task right now thinking about this.
You're painting stuff.
I'm painting.
Was this a painting
Oh
podcast?
yeah, the painting podcast. What the hell? We paint on this stream? Okay, my worst one, and you know what's funny? It's also a live action anime. I finally watched Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
Oh my god, was that horrible. Now, one, I have a problem with who they cast as Major.
So, I don't, because she really looks like she looked like in the animated one.
But the thing is
fair.
Not supposed to be.
Fair.
The movie was very boring. It was very slow. I've watched the anime, the standalone complex, the whole thing. Very big fan of Ghost in the Shell. But it just did not translate into over live action. The characters were bland. It was horrible.
To be fair, the Major is a somewhat bland character that's kind of part of the thing. But yeah, it's hard to... They're all bland. It's hard to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it was very, very bad. I was like, all right, this is horrible. I'm not going to watch this crap anymore. I suffered through it like I was supposed to and got through the entire thing, but there is no way that thing will get another anything.
So how many space herpes does that have?
It wasn't unwatchable. It wasn't Turkish Star Wars, so 3 space herpes.
Sounded like a 3. Just so everyone knows, since you're new here, if you don't know what we're talking about when we talk about space herpes, it's a movie called Ice Pirates. It's a classic. You should totally see that.
And so we rate everything by how many space herpes it has.
Yeah, space herpes. We used to use shots of Kraken, but we need to evolve with the time. we may fall back into that occasionally.
The shittier the movie, the more space herpes it has.
So next, out of 5 movies, Gonzo and I both have 5 movies, so we might go a little longer. It's potential. I think of the ones I saw. That one. Toss up. I will say technically the next worst movie is Delta Force. And I'm talking about the old Chuck Norris one. Chuck Norris, Lee Marvin, Steve James, Robert Forster, who I really like, even though he's playing not his race at all. But I guess at that point it's kind of hard to find Middle Eastern actors, so I'll give him a pass. And it's basically a story of an airline flight that gets hijacked by, let's say, I'm not going to say Islamic because they never actually maintain that they're Islamic, by Middle Eastern extremists who, are revolutionary New World Order. The biggest problem, let me start by saying, this is a bad movie. You know how there are good bad movies? This is a great bad movie.
Okay.
But it's still a bad movie. Because they really just try so hard to make it more serious than it needs to be. You're expecting a good action romp with a name like Delta Force starring Chuck Norris. And they really get kind of heavy with, them pulling the Jews off the plane and hiding them, and just the kind of heaviness of it. But to be fair, they don't show the bad guys as being the worst human scum in the universe. When, they're nice to children, they're understanding at occasional points, and they can be. There's just obviously people that are being pushed beyond what they can because of the way, world politics is. And I think this is, of course, obviously way pre 9/11. This is a late 80s movie. So the fair play to them for that. And God, the beginning of the movie is paced really kind of poorly. It's kind of slow and all. But when you get to the last 45 minutes and like the 4-part action extravaganza that is their finale, it just takes it up a notch and is fucking amazing. Oh God, it's kind of like G.I. Joe Congo, but it's the only there's only one major character, and that is fucking Chuck Norris, and he whoops some people's asses. It's just kind of weird the way they do it. Chuck Norris, you try and get him some martial arts action. He only has one fist fight scene really, and he beats the crap out of Robert Forster. It's not even close. Like, you want to talk about movies where it's like the hero was never in any real danger? Chuck Norris was in no real danger in that entire fight scene. But the real star of the movie is just the actual, like, the camaraderie between a couple of the main characters is pretty enjoyable, but They have this motorcycle that has rockets on the front and fires mortars at the back and machine guns. It is pretty fucking awesome.
So your 5-year-old self was like glee.
Oh yeah, I mean I love this movie. I saw it a ton when I was a kid. It's on Amazon Prime for free. I suggest checking it out. I give it 2 shots of Kraken, maybe 2 space herpes, maybe 2.5 space herpes. It is definitely one of those. I'm sitting here. I got about 2 hours to kill. I want to watch a solid action movie. It is a solid action movie as long as you realize it's going to be a little heavy in the front with them trying to, get some points across. But they do a fair job of it. The ending is, like the Dutch Force definitely whoops people's asses. They have very minimal casualties, but I mean, it's very poignant at the end. With all the passengers getting saved. This is not a spoiler. It's a fucking action movie in the 80s. Them coming off into like rousing band marching and everything, and they're all being greeted because they let the women go earlier. Women united with their men. But out the back of the plane is Delta Force carrying their fallen comrades and going over to their plane just to go on to the next mission. And it's kind of poignant. But definitely a great bad movie. I suggest watching it. But it is one, after the first full viewing, you might just start about halfway through and going, I just want to see the fucking great parts at the end. Gonzo, what was your second worst?
My second worst, and you're going to give me crap for it eventually because don't you share what is in front of it. I really, really, really did not care too much. It pains me because I heard it was pretty good and because it got bad ratings at the theater. And from all the Rotten Tomatoes, was Valerian.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet.
Everybody said that, it was horrible. It got bad ratings at the theater, bad ratings from critics. And it's not that it was bad ratings for Without Justice. I think people were expecting too much from this movie, and I think that's what ruined it.
They were expecting the magic of
the book.
Or they're expecting the magic of The Fifth Element again, and you cannot. Yeah. That movie has no right being as good as it was. Somehow it was.
Correct. And so it was really, really, really... And I think what it suffered from, not only with that, but there was too much going on. And when there was too much going on, you had to try to explain and try to figure out what was going on.
And I hear the 2 leads don't have a lot of chemistry, and that...
No.
That kills the movie. I don't really like either of them. Dane DeHaan, I think, is the main one. They're pushing him on us. He doesn't have the right look to be a lead.
Well, what's funny is...
like I want to punch him in the face.
I was putting together models while we were doing this, and I was, shocked because I kept on hearing Keanu Reeves. Every time he would talk, I'm like, Keanu? No, it's not Keanu. Because for some reason, he sounded like Keanu Reeves during the whole thing. But, yeah. So I really wasn't too impressed with it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I could have dealt, I would definitely not rent it or pay for it. That's for sure. But I'd say 2 shots of Kraken.
It sounds like it's like 2.5 space herpes.
Shots of Kraken. 2, yeah. Space herpes Kraken.
So you can't, yeah. We go back and
forth.
For so long. They're pretty much interchangeable.
Yes. It wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't something that I would suggest someone to watch.
So I'm going to, in the middle of mine, more or less, I'm going to throw out the fact that I saw the end of season 1 of Sherlock and then the first 2 episodes of season 2 of Sherlock, and all 3 episodes were fucking great. I'm not going to give it a rating. I'll give it a rating later when I'm done season 3 or 4, 5. How many are there? 4?
I have no clue.
4.
I have no clue, but
There's 4.
I'm going pretty far through them, and all 3 of those episodes are great. The end of season 1 was amazing. The beginning of season 2 was also amazing. The second one of season 2 was very good also, but really enjoying that. That is my current TV show I'm watching, if you will. I plan on following it up with The Expanse season 3 that I'm sure Gonzo is going to interject about now.
No.
No? No. Saved by Amazon Prime. You're not going to say anything?
No.
Okay. Well,
no.
I'm
going to wait. I liked that it was saved by Amazon Prime. The Expanse was, and I'm waiting for it. I just hope it goes more than... I hope it wasn't just a one-time grab just for the money.
Well, I mean, fair. I'm going to give them money for season 3 so they realize that
It was.
They made a good choice.
I'm happy. I just want to see if they're going to give it. Actually, you know what I'm really looking forward to? Of how much more money they pour into it, so they can give them more and let them get away with more, because they may be able to up more to it.
I told you,
Amazon Prime has made some great
Yeah.
independent series. Man in the High Castle is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at other stuff like the Grand Tour, the Tick, they put good stuff out, and I'm glad they decided to get into the sci-fi and not let Netflix have it all.
Yeah.
They got to keep in the fight. I want Netflix and Amazon Prime to get in the fight because I plan on keeping them both.
Yes.
Because I feel like both are worth it because of what they bring. And I'm glad it wasn't some third party where I'm like, I don't want to have to get a third party too.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
Problems.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking forward to it. I just hope that they do it. They push it as hard as they, instead of just being a money grab.
Cool. Well, back to my actual third best movie, and this is surprising that it rates higher than Delta Force. Friday night, if you guys caught the preamble, you heard about my Friday night movie experience as I watched Rampage starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Oh my God! So this movie was way better than it had a right to be. God, it was just fucking fun. Good action scenes, reasonable premise. Yeah, I mean it doesn't stand out too great on any part, but it does just very good in all parts. I mean, honestly, The Rock, I will see Rock in anything.
The Scorpion King.
I love the Scorpion King because it's like Conan the Destroyer, just less silly.
Oh, it had its silliness.
Yeah, it also has Jeffrey Dean Morgan in it, he is, if you understand the term, he is fucking chewing on scenery. He's just like gnawing, just mouthfuls of scenery, playing a sort of cowboy, government agent. Very cool, very cool. Also in it is what's her, Naomi Harris, who I was trying to figure out why I recognized her. I recognized her from the Bond series. She plays Moneypenny in the Bond series. And she plays a scientist. It gets a lot of good call-outs to the actual video game. The ending fight is fucking great. It's just enjoyable to see. I saw it at cheap theater, as I mentioned before. It was $9 for me and not Brushhead Dave on Friday peak time, so that is the price is right there. I don't know if it's as good as the new Jumanji Maximum DT. It's different good. It's the action movie companion to the new Jumanji, which is more comedy. They're very similar. I give it about two shots of Kraken. It is a good, enjoyable action movie. Doubly so if you like giant monkeys and apes, because it has a giant monkey / ape, giant wolf. Just enjoyable. It's not perfect. It never was going to be perfect, but way more enjoyable than you'd ever thought it would be. And not Brushhead Dave and I are looking forward to seeing Skyscraper in a cheap theater because we've decided Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies are going to be seen at a cheap theater if at all possible because they're worth that much. Gonzo, what's your next best one? Number 3.
Number 3 would have to be Alien Covenant.
Shocking rating, obviously.
You know, I actually enjoyed it. I was really surprised. There was some stuff that I can see where people had issues with because of just the way things were done. There was a lot of open ending to some stuff. You're like, you really don't want to leave that open-ended. You don't want to leave that kind of open and blank for people. Let's give them an ending. Let's give them some information. Let's give them what they're supposed to be. And it's all about the ending, so you can't. I don't want to spoil it in case anyone hasn't seen it. Although it's almost time for spoiler time to be up on that.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'll be honest, I didn't like Prometheus enough that I probably won't.
You should do it because I'd like to discuss the ending with you.
Okay, we'll see when I can find it.
It's on for free right now, I think, somewhere.
I will see if I can get the time.
Yeah. So see if you can get a hold of it. And it's mostly because of the ending. Overall, it wasn't bad. I can see where people had issues with. I would say maybe 2 space herpes max.
Seems like a 2 space herpes guy, and he's just off of being great. Because every movie had space herpes. You get 2 space herpes, you're no longer great.
Yeah.
You're tainted a little bit.
Yeah. So it wasn't horrible.
Best I can with that analogy.
But I mean, it had some flaws, so it wasn't too bad. But I want to go to something, and this is actually ranking out of order because you did a TV show.
Sure,
And
hit me.
I want to do a TV show, Lost in Space on Netflix.
Okay.
Okay, now I grew up with the original Lost in Space Netflix show,
As did I.
or the original show, which was great and fun for the time. I watched this, and balls, I had a blast.
Okay.
I binge watched all 10 episodes yesterday.
Wow. I'm not that kind of guy, generally speaking, but okay. You have my attention.
It was great. It had good humor. The characters were likable. The characters were hateable. But they took it a little different path than the normal Lost in Space type mentality.
Was it better than the last movie?
Oh,
Fair.
fuck tons better.
I enjoyed the last movie, mostly Gary Oldman, but
Yeah. But the Lost in Space, this is not a spoiler. It's not just the first season. They bring more of what happened and why it happens, and there's a lot of background. There's a lot about the planet. There's a lot about not only the Robinsons, but the other people that are on the planet with them. I mean, there's just a ton of stuff. The cast was amazing. I love the story behind the robot. And we talked about her last week, Parker Posey, playing Dr. Smith.
uh-huh.
And she played an amazing Dr. Smith.
Because she was in Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes.
Once you missed the review of Kathy, I reviewed Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah. But I mean, it was really good. Her character, Parker Posey's character of Dr. Smith was worse and more evil than the original.
Dr. Smith is the one part in every version of this they've hit out of the park.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? The guy who did the original. I can't
remember his name.
I've been drinking. He is great, and if you watch the videos on him on YouTube and all of him interviews with him, Jonathan Harris, he's fucking great.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that was the best part of the movie too, was freaking Gary Oldman as Dr. Smith.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
You got to hit it out of the park with him.
Yeah.
He's almost the main character.
Parker Posey did really, really well as a conniving, manipulative piece of shit.
Awesome.
And that's the best way to put it. And it was great. Her scenes were really good. You're looking and you're watching her, it's like, she's going to fucking, she just did that.
Yeah, basically just wanted to boot Smith in the ass straight out of a hatch. Like, yep.
Yeah. Her character was amazing. The characters are good. The sci-fi is good and fun. Special effects good. Highly recommend it. Can't wait for season 2.
It's on my list. I might see when I can check that out after I get done with Sherlock.
Yeah. I give it no space herpes.
Oh, shit.
I enjoyed it that much.
They're in space.
Yeah. And they didn't catch any while they were out there.
Awesome. I guess the robot caught it.
Yeah. What was really fun is I was expecting, some of that teen angsty romance crap, and they just barely hit it. They just barely touched it.
I have no problem with them putting that in if it's appropriate to the age of the characters. I just don't want too much of it because, let's be honest, some of us, we're so far past the teen angsty romance stage, we just don't fucking care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it was done very well. Everybody had their chance to shine. Everybody had their chance to be, in the light. Even the supporting characters that, you're just not used to that were in this because it was a new series were great. You were like, that guy's a dick. I like him. He's funny. I want more of him. It was really good. I'm ready for season 2. 100%. Zero space herpes.
So now I gotta flip a coin because I really like the next 2 a lot. And they're functionally equal in my mind right now. So I will talk about them with the one I saw the furthest away first, just so I'm not giving the actual favoritism, and that is Deadpool 2.
Okay. I'll go with you on that because I saw that too today. Speaking
of non-angsty teen romances, Yukio and Negasonic Teenage Warhead, I love that. I love the way that it's just Wade's not a dick to her. He's just like, "Hi, Yukio."
Yeah.
So it is more of the same, but the jokes that they totally steal from the first one, they totally take it to the next level.
Yes.
It is super fun. The X-Force scenes, X-Force is awesome. Great. God, I mean, what else to say? I mean, you got Obviously, Ryan Reynolds knocking it out of the park again as Deadpool. This is a role he was made for. I'm glad he loves it so much.
Yeah.
He does so much for that role. You know, hats off to him. I liked him in movies I saw him in before I knew who he really was. You know, like Smoking Aces and all. I enjoyed his performance in that. I feel like he doesn't get a fair shake in his acting ability. But this is super fun. You've got Josh Brolin knocking out of the park, you know, in 2 movies this summer, 2 weeks apart as Cable. He was really good as Cable. To be fair, if you guys are old comic fans, they sort of change the way it goes.
Yeah.
They use pieces in X-Men style, because that's sort of been the X-Men way since they really started. They use scenes, they use X-Men characters, but they sort of change who they are. But they perfectly fit the movies they're doing through, and they tend to be fairly fair representations of who the characters are. The whole plot, and this isn't really spoiler because it happens pretty quickly, is Deadpool gets stuck with a kid, Rusty, that he has to protect, and it sort of goes from there. You know, he's in an interesting place in his life, and he's trying to, you know, to get over it and get going. And I mean, it's just Deadpool hilarity. I mean, he goes about things all the wrong way every time, but it's super funny. Domino is great.
Yeah.
Who says
really
luck
good.
isn't a superpower?
Oh, and some of the bashes on certain comic book artists.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, that definitely. I mean, it's that same Deadpool humor and all that you love from the first one. It is in full force in the second one. My roomie is a big Deadpool fan. She was not a huge fan of it. She saw that all the, you know, oh, they did this and this and this. I'm not going to say because it's a spoiler, even though it happens early. I'm not going to spoil that, but they do things that she thought was uncool, and she said they use a lot of jokes. But I mean, it's a comedy. You're going to use the same jokes, but you just kick them up a level. And I thought they did a great job with it. It was enjoyable. It wasn't too heavy. I mean, the points was heavy. It was heavy, but it wasn't too bad at any point. Just a great fun movie. Some cool cameos, especially one early on in the expansion. Did you catch that one, Gonzo?
Yep.
That was great. Colossus has a good role. It is amusable. I think maybe the only negative I'd give to it is that Negasonic Teenage Warhead does not have a big part in it.
No.
Less than she did in the one before, but she shows up with her girlfriend Yukio, which is amusing. And it's just a good, fun movie.
It is.
But for a rated R movie, I hate... It's rare to say that a rated R movie is just good, enjoyable fun. It's good, enjoyable fun. As long as, you know, saucy language doesn't get you down, because it's saucy language. It's just enjoyable. I'm not going to spoil anything because it's another movie. That seems to be the theme of this year, doesn't it, Gonzo? Movies, to properly review them, you'd have to spoil the crap out of them.
Yeah. It was good. There wasn't any, like, lull scenes or horrible. I think one was better, but I think that's because one was better because it was such a brand new thing. But two was just as fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it had sequelitis, but not in any way I'd really call too bad, unless you really have a problem with reusing jokes. You're expecting all fresh material, but that's really not fair to the movie. So, I gave it a shot and a half, a crack. And sorry, 1.5 space herpes that Deadpool cut. He definitely cut 1.5, so he's got 1.5.
Yeah.
There. It's really good. It's just shy of being truly great like the first one, but man, it's worth seeing. I may see it again when it gets into cheap theater. It seems like it'd be a good time to see twice in the theater. Yeah. And stay for the after credit stuff. Twice. Super hilarious, and you know, thumbs up for Yukio being super cute. Hey, wait, who knew? I have a thing for Japanese girl with pink hair. Almost like I grew up with anime.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Let's go with my next one because we're running out of time. I watched the movie Morgan.
Okay.
It is, and you think about it, it's supposed to be about a girl that's a super assassin and the whole thing. To be a quick one, it wasn't bad. It was blatantly obvious of all the plot. It was so, I mean, you walked in going, okay, this is what's going to happen. But it wasn't bad to watch. I do have a problem with the main character fighting in stilettos out in the woods.
Yikes! That's
and able to do it like a ninja.
Is it somewhat realistic aside from that? Because that'd be why I would have a problem with it.
It kind of was, but you're like, how was she doing that? And well, okay, maybe she's trained with stilettos all of her life.
I mean, it's sort of thing, and it's a big movie thing. If you have rules in the movie and you follow your own rules, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to be realistic and you start doing blatant interstitial shit like that, I start to get a little out of the movie.
It was okay. I would say maybe 2 shots of Kraken. If you got
Okay.
like a lazy 2 hours, not bad.
So
Seen better.
knowing the movie you have left is better than that?
Actually, you know what's so sad? I have 2 movies left.
Oh, shit.
And I have to say this because we did share one together. I hate to say this, but you know what? I actually enjoyed the Power Rangers movie, the new live action movie. I actually had a
said that. I just want to know why. Hit me up. I'm intrigued.
You know, okay.
We both missed the Power Rangers generation.
Yeah, it was
We're
not
both
part of
high
mine.
school kids by
Yeah.
the time Power Rangers came out, and it wasn't really aimed at us so much.
No.
You think it would be, but it really it wasn't. It aimed lower than us because those kids look up to those kids. And that's where you were.
I think what it was is that I had such low hope for it that I went in going, wow, this was actually pretty fun, pretty cool, and pretty neat. You
Actually,
do get
DT
your...
said he thought it was better than it was actually pretty fun. That's cool.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was. It did have some of the teen angsty stuff in there, which is okay because you're a bunch of teenagers. You expect this.
It's fair.
You're supposed
that's where they
to.
should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was nice and fun. Beating up people, learning how to do their powers, blah blah blah. Which supposedly they're supposed to have another one, which I'm all for it.
Okay, fair. I
The
might check it out.
combat.
It's been free on Amazon Prime for a while. I've
Oh
been
yeah,
intrigued,
yeah. Since I'm now on summer vacation, I'm like, hey, I've got my queue loaded up on Amazon, Netflix, Funimation, everywhere. I've got so much loaded up right now. But I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. Characters were definitely, you can understand, they kind of updated the characters to a modern type
You
setting, which is okay because there was some of the scenes you're like, oh yeah, now I know why this teen is a little angsty.
And I hear, speaking of chewing the scenery, I forget her name, but the one who played Rita Repulsa, apparently she was gnawing on the scenery too.
Yeah, but I mean, it was really fun.
I like villains that chew scenery. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, chewing on the scenery is not necessarily a bad thing. It just is an amusing thing.
Yeah.
Just means they're overacting because they're fucking enjoying themselves.
Yeah. It was fun. I recommend it. I give it maybe 2 space herpes because it may not be your thing. My only problem is I didn't like Goldar, which was the big, because I didn't like the way they made him. That just kind of irked me. They could have done better with him, but
fair enough.
Artistic license and all. So
Awesome.
that was not bad. And I guess
I mean, we're definitely going over at this point, Gonzo. So you might as well hit us because it's 9:20. It's 8:29 your time, and we've still got a movie each.
All right, I'll be quick with this one because it's actually a rehash. As you know, I'm a high school teacher, but I teach behavior kids, so I told them if they behaved this one day, we'd watch movies the rest of the week. So I watched one movie and one series. I put in the reboot TV series from the early 90s.
Oh, cool.
And my boys, they're dying for me to come in and show them the rest of the series. We only got up into series 2, and they're like, we want to see series 3 and 4. Come on, please come in. I'm like, I'm not working, guys. I can't come in. They're like, can you let us borrow it? We want to watch the rest of Reboot. They would walk into my classroom, all sit down and like tap their chest going, Reboot! And they were like, we're ready. And I'm like, it was so amazing.
Awesome. That is a series that is way better than it had any right to be.
Correct. And the other rehash that we did is we watched Big Hero 6.
After looking at it, I wrote down some of your lists. I'm like, oh yeah, of course that's his best movie. Cause...
Big Hero 6 to me, I could watch that all the time. I mean, it's got the heart, it's got soul, it's got everything.
It is the second best animated superhero movie behind The Incredibles, and boy, that's a really close second. Like The Incredibles won by a nose.
It's still really, really good. I mean, kids still love it, and they still get choked up, which is also I showed them Iron Giant too, and
choked up. Talk about choked up.
People cry during that all the time. I had the girls crying, and were just like, "No, this is bullshit. This is bullshit, Mister. This is gonna." I'm like, just watch the movie.
This is life. You've got to realize this is life. It is poignant, and this shit happens, and you got to be ready for it. And this helps teach you.
So, I mean, those were really good. I give them zeros. So I'm actually going to finish watching the rest of Reboot on my own here at the house because I can't stop in the middle of the season and not rewatch it. So, all right. Done. I'm going to drink the rest of my bourbon while you talk about your last one.
So my last one, remember I did the last two only in order of which I saw them, and I saw Solo yesterday because I was kicked out of the house because it was Remy's significant other's birthday, so they wanted me out. So I'm like, got nothing to do, let's go watch Solo. So watch Solo in the local theater, and damn, it was way better than I ever thought it would be.
Good.
I mean, if you understand that they basically fired the directors mostly through the movie because they weren't really being Star Wars enough. They were doing their own thing rather than Star Wars. The fact that it is as good as it is amazing. It's enjoyable. Honestly, about the time you meet Lando Calrissian, you stop thinking of this guy as some kid trying to play Han Solo, and you start thinking of him as Han Solo. But Donald Glover is fucking Lando Calrissian.
Good.
He and Billy D. Williams, fucking interchangeable. That guy is awesome. He's to get in a great property and do great things because he can act. He channels the best Lando Calrissian. It's great. Woody Harrelson is perfectly serviceable. Paul Bettany, guy who plays the Vision, is in it for a bit. He is good. The female leads who are in it are solid. Everyone does a good role. The biggest negative part is they have a droid, and the best thing I call this droid, the droid is not K2SO. It's trying so hard to be a quirky droid like K2SO, but it's failing. And that's unfortunate because it's, they're just trying too hard, and it happens. I mean, you people like something, you try and mimic it, but it just sort of misses the mark. It's still enjoyable, but they're trying a little hard with that, and that may be the problem with a little bit of Solo, is at points it's just trying way too hard.
Gotcha.
It does some good stuff. It's visually stunning at points. It's very solid, and the biggest problem I think it is that it's a little too Star Wars and not enough Ocean's 11. I think you need to take the Star Wars back one notch and add one more notch of Ocean's 11, and you get a great movie. Not really good, but it was really good. It was enjoyable. I hope the relatively poor box office numbers don't make them stop making Star Wars movies. I'm sure it won't.
Nah.
I hope it doesn't turn them off to making like a sequel to this. That being said, I don't think Boba Fett movie is the way forward. Unpopular opinions, #unpopular opinions. Boba Fett is the fucking second most overrated character in Star Wars. The first most overrated character I will not spoil, but they make appearance in this movie, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
I don't like Boba Fett. I mean, I like Boba Fett. Boba Fett's cool. But Boba Fett does not deserve an entire movie. At no point is Boba Fett interesting enough to deserve an entire movie. I really hope they don't shit the bed with this one, because if they do, then the Star Wars stories will be done. And I don't want the Star Wars stories to be done because there's cool things they can do from this. Though, overall, Star Wars-wise, I am pleased that they're giving people full control, and like, here's a trilogy, not Skywalker-related, you get to make. That's cool. The future of Star Wars is bright, especially if they get stuff like Solo out there. And fucking Ron Howard, who's always been one of my favorites. I loved him in Happy Days. I've enjoyed the movies he's done. I hope he gets a chance to make more movies in sci-fi fantasy and not just come in and save things, because he can make a movie, because you saved a movie that had, by every right, should have been fucking terrible, and made it enjoyable and really good.
So
No Bane, I will not bite my tongue. Boba Fett is fucking overrated. All he did was track the Millennium Falcon, nothing the fuck else, got beaten by a blind man. He is all flash and no actual substance. He's a solid bounty hunter, but not the greatest. Jesus Christ, he's been overrated for so many years.
all right.
Anyways, I've also been drinking a little too much, and I'm starting to feel it now. I give Solo the same 1.5 space herpes, probably hiding out somewhere in the Millennium Falcon. Lots of crevices in there they can't find. Chewie can't get it. Oh, Chewie is great in this. Very enjoyable. Go see it. Don't let the fucking bullshit people who hate it, the negative media, stop you from seeing this. There are too many movies that get stopped by negative media. Don't let it stop you. Go see this. It's enjoyable. I liked it. I may see the game when it's in a cheap theater. I'm sure Not Brushhead Dave won't go, because Not Brushhead Dave doesn't fucking care about Star Wars, because that's how Not Brushhead Dave is. He gives a shit when he gives a shit and doesn't know about anything else. It's enjoyable. It's one of his wonderful personality flaws. But in any case, enjoyable. 1.5 space herpes. Go see it. That's the end of the media section, because we're over time and I'm drunk.
And that is our episode for the night, guys. Thanks for watching. Do pay attention. We do streaming. I do paint quite a bit, and Kathy will be painting also a lot more than me now.
Yep. And if you guys enjoyed it, check out our Patreon. We actually do even extra stuff. I do 2 bonus podcasts. One is free to everyone. That's called Even Just Sewer Bear. That's my role-playing group doing superhero role-playing with the titular Sewer Bear in the lead. And then I also do minis and movies where I talk about more miniature-related topics and more movies. Generally something you guys can see for free so you guys can follow along and see the movies I'm talking about as I talk about them. Check that out on our Patreon.
And also I do a Star Wars RPG called Dawn of the Harbinger that you can watch. Also, if you're a patron subscriber at $5 or higher, you get to hang out with Kathy and do some painting with her. With that said, and drink more. With that said,
I'm drinking more. I'm already drunk. Fuck.
After this, guys, I will be sending you to Fancy Unicorn. Please stay around. She is an amazing painter. If you haven't seen her yet,
Yeah.
She's good friend of mine. We're gonna send you to her. Other than that, guys, for More Than Dice, I'm Gonzo.
I'm Kathy.
I'm John.
We're out.
Ron.
John, you are really shit-faced, aren't you?
No.
Are you?
No.
I wouldn't drive, but I'll make it down the stairs okay.
You'll make it down the stairs.
Gravity makes sure I make it down the stairs, so I'll make it down the stairs okay.
You'll make it down the stairs, okay? Not just dead.
Uh-huh.
I won't be dead. I'll be okay. Look,
He is down. Look at the lips are down.
I have never been. I'm pretty much over like I was after watching Turkish Star Wars at Wishing Weekend with my left John, where he left me halfway through to go play in a role-playing game. I know you're not listening, John, but I don't forget. I'm like an elephant. There'll be a reckoning.
I'd like to see that.
I mean, the reckoning.
I want to sign me up for the reckoning.
The reckoning.